All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It is map number 2 right underway here in Gamerlegion. Going to be kicking us off straight away with some mid-aggression to bring us onto Inferno. And of course, for the second map and for all the broadcasting of this Moche Esports event, I am with over 4 commentary.
Yeah, what's up? And of course, what's up is the fact that it's the second pistol, or the third pistol effectively, and well, a very successful start for Offset already. Hampus down to 10, it's 2-man down on Gamerlegion, Existence Scream taking the bullet to the face, PR takes down Knock, and that will be pretty much the bells tooling. Gamerlegion, they've got themselves shy of no defense at all available for the A play, and yeah, good night Hampus. Offset. Inferno, their map pick, their best map to date. We've seen it once today. We've seen it in the past, as I've said, against teams like Sprout and such, and they had been amazing on it. I have to admit that Gamerlegion, they kind of disappointed me a little bit on Dust. They really underperformed, and above all else, they made some crucial errors, some basic errors that you should never be making, especially on anti-eco. So hopefully they can at least adjust for that here, but this is now the final chance for them. They have to win Inferno, otherwise it is a goodbye, good day, and hello, second semifinals to Offset.
Yeah, this is a perfect start out of Offset, and again, they're going to be keeping themselves with the momentum that they gained at the end of the previous map as they close out Dust 2. They know right now that the series is basically half in their hands already, with the fact that Gamerlegion do particularly find it hard to be not mentally like clear in a game, but they do, when times get a little rough, seem a little scrappy, which hopefully they can not fall into the trap of this time. It looks like we will see a forced buy out of Gamerlegion for the second round. An MP9 in the hands of HS, even a scout on Hampus, some stores to be invested as well. So a decent purchase out of the CT side considering they lost the pistol, but even so. And now it is looking like Offset will be keeping the momentum in their favor, and as they look for that second round that should guarantee a third as well. Hampus going to be peeking toward top middle. Majority of the Offset side dedicating toward Banana, and the passive, again, another passive setup out of them. Much like we saw on Dust 2, there's such a really calm and collected T side to the point where they're not worried about sitting back for 45, 50 seconds and seeing what they can read out of their opponents.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, we can see that they just wish to remain in a comfortable spot, in a safe spot. They are pulling back from Banana, realizing perhaps there's a bit of a stack going on, and indeed it is. Gamerlegion, the Scout on Hampus, the MP9 on HS, and of course Knock with his Deagle. You can't hit that without losing at least 1 or 2 players. And PR, the timing here, he spots the well, at least he spots the player. Does not lose a point of HP. Well, just as I say that, he does a little bit, but it's still going to be 2 men defending a site all alone against AKs and SMGs. And let's see how it all turns as Offset have 40 seconds left on the clock. They're going to have to make a decision. And okay, back towards B we go. This is something we've seen against, of course, against Bulls, but they also screwed themselves over because of that. And right now, Gamerlegion, they're reading into this. They're pulling back towards B. They're going to be having 3 players here. 25 seconds, time is ticking. There will be not enough time to rotate back towards A if they would want to do so. And on Big Box, it's going to be Knock with the first man, Knock with the second, coming out as HS. And it is a double for HS, and that is going to be the end of the round. Offset, they're a little bit indecisive, and it costs them the round themselves. Or itself, excuse me.
That's a mistake by Offset there. Like you said, they were really undecided, and that's what really slowed them down, because they couldn't choose what they wanted to do in the round quick enough, where as soon as they hit that bomb site, they couldn't be doing their due diligence. They can't check every single position, and that gave Nork such a beautiful opportunity to find those kills. And yeah, that was pretty much the round closed down in itself. Offset already responded. Gamerlegion putting their first on the board, and now with that investment in their favor, Offset have been forced onto rebuy themselves. AK in the hands of OBJ. Stadadu down to 31 early, and with some pistols for them to work with, shouldn't be getting a second round, and this should be Gamerlegion already solidifying a very nice start yet again on the CT side of Inferno.
I mean, it's relative. The start is, I mean, it certainly could be better if they had won the pistol and all. But it's a nice starting point for them. Dust 2 was quite a shaky map as a whole. Knock tags onto Zlinks, excuse me. Scream will take him down in the end. Another tag on Stadudu. PR just as well, pretty low. Scream will take advantage of it, of course. Pulls out, gets 2. That's pretty much it. 2-1 offset eco round, and I would love to see some intricate tactics out of offset. Now, one thing we saw against Bulls was a very consistent second mid performance, or more than anything, second mid aggression towards apps, trying to make sure they retain control of it. Banana control equally so, very important, very much the staple of Inferno is Banana, of course, and if you're unable to control that, you usually don't have much information going your way, meaning that you're going to be in the dark, meaning that you can't adjust your style, or actually, yeah, you can't adjust your team, you can't adjust your players, and it usually results in a loss. And this eco round is going to bear no fruit for offset. Gamerlegion cleaned it up easily, 3-1. But this is it. This is the full buy round. This is where it's all going to have to change. As, of course, offset have themselves the AKs, the Galil, I guess, and the utility. And I would like to see some standard default, you know, 2 banana, 2 second mid, trying to find a little bit of room to wiggle with.
Because this is the thing, right? Offset, all they have to do is keep it simple. They don't need to be pulling anything intricate as of yet into this T side. They want to feel or adjust to Gamerlegion's setups on the CT side and want to be putting themselves some rounds on the board early, and then they can start bringing through the intricate things when Gamerlegion start changing their setups, when they bring out that aggression, and this time that's perfect. Not going to be caught out toward long, but there's the reply from Hampus. Beautiful double that sees damage already to be inflicted, just shutting down Scream in return. Stadudu drop down to 39, however, and that will see a 4 versus 3. Hampus able to adjust himself as well. A knock on the back of the bomb site. Still not yet being seen. He can stay here for as long as they try and force that bomb plant. Here it is, HS as he closes down just. The bomb is down, a second for him. And there's nothing that OBJ can do. Gamerlegion, they start out well, shutting down the first gun round of that T side of offset, a 4-1. Again, a similar start, much like Dust 2, and probably will show an exact replica of the scoreline as well.
Pretty much so, yeah. We should be expecting something of the like. And I have to admit, Gamerlegion, this is looking pretty decent, pretty good. Hampus, nice hold on long. Of course, HS coming through short in the end to tie it all off, or tie it all together, and just securing everything easily. It is going to be 4-1, as I said, offset an eco round once more. They've got a few utilities here and there that can play, perhaps. See, this is where I would like to see the execution towards apps, towards balcony, and try and play from that point forward. You know, try and smoke apps, try and jump out of it, try and catch the player in pit unaware, or not really unaware, but at least unprepared. Gamerlegion, 3 players on site, though. They kind of realize what's up, what's coming their way. The smokes have been deployed, and it's a pretty good smoke wall so far. Allows them to get into pit unharmed and safely. PR will be down to 44 as Hampus will find himself 2. It's no refrag available yet for offset, and in the end, it's just going to be a murder hole for the rest of the team of offset. OBJ, yeah, not going to get much done. And Gamerlegion, 5-1, and a perfect start. Can they keep it up, though? Can they keep this momentum up? If they're able to secure this first half, let's say 10-5, right? This could certainly give them a very fair position to work around a victory to move on to Overpass next. But overall, we have to consider the fact that Offset, they've been amazing CT side. And that's the one side that scares me the most. Gamerlegion, they seem lost on Dust, and hopefully they're not going to be lost here on T side.
That's the thing as well, with Offset being as good of a CT side on Inferno as they are, it almost just requires them to get maybe 4 or 5 rounds on this T side to be in with a really good shot at finding.
Oh, that nade!
Oh my, that was so much damage inflicted. Just we'll find him down to 26. Stadudu on 44. They've not even seen any players. Yet there's been over 100 damage inflicted. That will see Offset going to be dropped down 2 players low. Still a minute 10 left to work with. That's going to really start to play on their minds, or play a nuisance they're trying to execute onto these bomb sites. And again, Gamerlegion not going to be overstacking any sites, not going to be leaving anywhere open for taking by Offset. 2 players towards B is very, very standard. The same for their 3-man setup. And I like the fact that Nork's tucked in close corner, but still has the support of Hampus. He'll now rotate towards B. But as they boost Existence up, I like this sort of position. It gives him such a high ground to work with, especially if Hampus can dip outside of the smoke when it's thrown by Offset. That will, again, really pay its dividends. But still, as the execution comes by the T side, there's the position of Existence. It's so perfect. HS, as he closes down one more, like you say, a beautiful crossfire. Existence again able to rattle down, and such a solid hold out of Gamerlegion. That's a way to hold the B-bomb site.
It really is, and that's what you'd expect out of them. That's how they have to play all game long. End of story. You can't risk being lost in translations. Speaking of, translations, the point is that Offset, they didn't perform, too brightly against Bulls, and their T side was a bit shaky, but the CT side again is what was the advantage for them. So Gamerlegion, they need all the rounds they can get. At 6-1, it's looking pretty decent. Stadudu though, okay, he's gonna go push Banana, remaining with 56 HP, gets himself a single kill, and perhaps even gets away with a rifle, if at all possible. In Existence, does he look to retake Banana? That would be a pretty scary consideration. That I wouldn't... It's a risky maneuver you're pulling off here.
When you know that you're against pistols, which means you're probably against Deagles, and that was one of the better series that we saw with Offset with their Desert Eagles earlier this morning. So definitely Existence has to be very careful facing off against players like OBJ and PR on those Desert Eagles. Does seem like up to now, Gamerlegion facing off against an Offset A-site apartments rush. Probably one of the better options to take with pistols. You can definitely explode out of balcony, get inside of pit, and overcome the site. It all works in your favor, but that is definitely theoretically speaking. With the fact that Nork going to be playing underneath balcony, has the nice crossfire setup with Scream for the site itself, and this is where they can really begin to hit home as Scream takes that one, but again, trade by OBJ, the Desert Eagle, to close him down. Hampus trying to spam the smoke, but it's into a 3 versus 2. 25 seconds are just gone as that bomb is planted. And in a 3 versus 2 with a couple of rifles now picked up by Offset, got to favor them in this after plant unless they start to fall one by one and go for silly peaks, but they should be okay for now.
Yeah, a repeat of Dust 2 pistol certainly wouldn't be too comfortable to see. Stadudu though will peak at the right time, catching Existence off, and that's going to be 6-2. Offset finding their second round, finding a little bit of footing in their starting, I guess in their map pick, in their starting first half. It's important to note that, again, if they are able to take, let's say 5 rounds, 4 rounds on Inferno, that's pretty decent already. Gamerlegion are known to be pretty damn good on CT overall. They are capable of playing very well as a team. They've developed much. They've developed pretty nicely ever since they started playing. But of course, there's still issues to be had and still issues to be resolved. And hopefully they're able to, kind of keep that down to a minimum. Offset, though, overall, I gotta say, I'm enjoying their performance as a whole, even though they're not getting away with victories, too many of them at least. They're able to give us a pretty nice execution every now and then, as well as an overall default. Now, look at this, 4 players towards Banana. Gamerlegion, they're expecting this B push. HS finds 2, what? And that's an immediate refrag by Just.
Damage done by HS to open things up, and especially with Justin's links down to half HP between them. The Legion setting themselves up for a very, very nice site hold yet again, and this time Offset, no waiting around with that execution, but not that it even matters. Hampus and Existence, well, they get it cleaned up entirely. 7-2 in this T side. They're being walked all over right now. It looks like we will have ourselves a pause, and rightly so. I hope it's an Offset tack one.
Has to be.
They need to discuss things right now. They do have plenty of money to buy, but buy rounds themselves haven't particularly been as fruitful as they'd like them to be. Gamerlegion are having such a great understanding of this CT side of Inferno so far, and considering that whilst it's a map they can comfortably play, it's Offset's best one in the recent times, you'd think that they'd be able to control the pace a little more. And yes, they're on the T side, but Gamerlegion getting to a point right now where they're going to be as strong as they would like to be, especially plenty of rounds left. They should be looking to push for this double figure mark on the CT side and really mount the pressure, because like you say, with that third map being Overpass, I've got to favor Gamerlegion as well with the past couple of results they've had on this map. Even though it's one that they can get overdone on, they can still play it pretty comfortably. And this time, again, we do see Offset back onto that purchase. OBJ on the AWP, the rest with AKs, but it's Existence. Oh, he's going to rush second mid. This could be perfect, but no. PR reads it well, and a beautiful first kill that sees Existence shut down already.
Yeah, and that's going to be the entry free of charge for Offset. Oh, HS, he's in trouble. He's going to be caught. Slinks. He peeks out at the right time. Able to punish that push. Able to take it home almost. That is a bit of an issue here for Gamerlegion. Existence trying to push second mid. It was a nice attempt. I love the idea behind it. Unfortunately, the execution was a little bit hard to get. And that's going to cost Gamerlegion almost certainly around here. Should be an easy 3-2 Offset. And off to a good compilation of a few in a row, perhaps. Overall, though, Gamerlegion sitting on that comfortable bank of theirs. They're not going to be too distressed, even if they drop one more round here. It's looking pretty decent overall for them. And they have to make sure to retain their sanity in a way and just do not tilt too much.
So one thing with Gamerlegion having the advantage or the lead in the first map and then losing half overall 9-6, they have to make sure that that doesn't happen this time. Scream. Nice little taps onto the head of Justin's Lynx. PR at least to return fire and keep the advantage now in their favor. Bomb to be planted. Nork and Hampus on a 2 versus 3 retake. All players situated around toward the A site. Nork trying to bait out a little bit of info as well as he looked to enforce out a peek, but it seems like they will go for the save instead. They know of an AWP that's retrievable, and that will give a third round to Offset themselves. Already backing away from the sites, going to save. Third on the T side, like you said, with money still in the favor of Gamerlegion. Won't be too much of a chink in the armor for Gamerlegion, but themselves, they don't want to be allowing Offset to be gaining, like you say, consecutive rounds, or else that would really allow this T side back in. We know how good they can be when they get the momentum rolling, so as long as Gamerlegion can counter that, they should be okay. But for now, a third on the board for that T side and looking pretty solid as they go into their next gun round.
Yeah, indeed. They will be turning the tide a little bit left and right. They're building themselves back up. And I have to admit, it's looking pretty decent with 3 already. If they're able to cascade it into perhaps an eco forward, for Gamerlegion within the next few rounds, then they're off to a great roll. But a bit of lag on my side.
Definitely.
Not sure if it's on your side as well.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Quite a little bit of lag. Hopefully they can resolve this ASAP. But it's going to be, of course, the op on knock. They've got themselves 4 Augs, so far so good, and a pretty standard play by Gamerlegion. They do not go overly aggressive. They're taking they're taking B control, trying to make sure they've got a good setup. Slinks goes out first, will be caught by Scream, and Knock beforehand was able to snag on towards PR. HS with Banana. The timing there is perfect. And so is the round itself. Stadudu, the only man that gets a refrag. Not really going to work out, though. And yeah, 8 rounds for Gamerlegion. Not bad at all. I mean, at one point, I'm like, oh, you know, awesome. Offset, they're doing pretty good. They're fighting pretty well. They're trying to keep this one as close as possible. And then on the other, Gamerlegion just kind of defeat them all. Easy.
Again, with Gamerlegion being able to simply put a round on the board as quickly as they did just then, it does indicate that this CT side going to be full focus mode, wanting to close out this second map. And Offset, they've given the victory in the first half to Gamerlegion themselves. They will be back onto another buy round, but now you can finally see the money has run dry. There's no liquid cash left for that T side to buy in the next round, so reliant on a victory to keep them afloat in this first half. Losing this one probably gives double figures to Gamerlegion already, keeping themselves in the runnings. Oh, beautiful shot by Stadudu. Shutting down HS, a jumping headshot. Sees the first man to be shut down. It's decent damage to be returned back to him, but overall, they hold the one-man advantage. OBJ potentially looking for a trade of his own, but not going to find it just yet. We're back into a 5 versus 4, and a minute 5 left on the clock. 3 players toward the A site for Gamerlegion. They'll be just keeping Existence on his lonesome toward that B-bomb site. A very risky maneuver if Offset do begin to execute, which they are definitely looking to do so now. So I'd like to see either Scream or Hampus rotate over and give him a little bit of support. But he is playing anti-flash, so he can definitely keep himself primed and ready. But as soon as he's shut down, that's literally the B-site loss. We've seen no movement out of Gamerlegion whatsoever right now.
Yeah, that's a bit weird. Gamerlegion, they're leaving B wide open. Finally, the rotation from Scream is coming through long, but it might be a bit late to the party. 30 seconds and counting. Time is everything. And right now, Offset, they've got themselves the drawback back towards A. They've pulled off the rotation. Perhaps this is what they needed. Oh boy, this is perhaps what will change the tide. Hampus, though, shuts down Zlinks. And that again turns it all back on its head. And as much work as Gamerlegion or Offset have put into this round, it seems like they'll be able to pull it off. PR double, and it's back to 4-on-2. All of a sudden, Gamerlegion, even with the entry, it's not enough. And Offset, they'll be able to at least be on double or so half result to Gamerlegion.
Especially on this T side, I think they're going to be feeling just a little bit more comfortable now that they've been able to at least guarantee 4th round. I mean, CT side at the moment not going to be sort of lacking economy, so a buy round to be made almost sure, considering that Nork's going to be on like $14,000 after this round. So, see a drop given to HS himself. He'll receive a rifle. Existence, plenty of cash as well. So Gamerlegion, they should be stacked at least for the 13th and 14th round, providing that they go in their favor. Yeah, nice little prediction of Nork inside of Library there to pin him down and finish him off. And the T side still showing glimpses of success, despite, like you say, with Gamerlegion making them a little bit quiet. They've still been bringing out flashes of brilliance in the rounds themselves and have been finding some decent success. So it all depends whether Gamerlegion can close down these final couple of rounds and maybe even guarantee double figures. But with the way that Offset are battling, they'll want to get back into the action. Stadudu going to be taking the primary AWP on this T side as well. I realize OBJ's on a rifle, so going to be interesting. But just a Nork, 1-for-1 trade down toward Banana that sees Existence wanting to go for the peak. He shuts down Stadudu, and a 4 versus 3 that now gives Gamerlegion a nice little advantage.
Once more, an advantage that Offset is having issues tracking. I mean, Gamerlegion, at one point, they don't get very far. On the other point, they just kind of demolish everything in their tracks. It feels strange, but it's happening. Scream finds one, Hampus the second, and it's all just collapsing on top of the head of OBJ. In a 1-on-4, he's left, he finds one, but Existence, no reason to fear, no reason to doubt. It's an easy kill, and it shall be 9-4. This is a very successful first half out of Gamerlegion. This is exactly what we expected to happen on Dust. Unfortunately for them, that went the other way quite differently, I guess you could say. But an eco round for Offset, and they're setting themselves up for the last round. 10-5 is the scoreline we'll be looking at potentially pretty soon. And if that's the case, I have to say, still not too bad. Offset 5 rounds. It's not a bad setup, if nothing else.
Especially B-side, I think they'd be pretty happy with 5 rounds. They should be content with that sort of scoreline. Even 4's okay, but one more would really seal the deal and put them in a solid position. But this time, it seems like the eco round is not going to be as fruitful as they would like. 2 players toward top mid of A, at least in the bomb. The back of T-ramp shouldn't be delivering too much. So this will be Gamerlegion already confirming double digits. Nork, nice reaction shot. And that will see the closure of the round itself. Even with HS down to 2 points of health, he should be surviving unless they out wide CT. But the Deagles definitely provide some frags with how good that Offset were with their Deagles in that first series of the day. But with 45 on the clock, they will start to head down toward that B site. If they can guarantee a plant, which would be definitely a long shot, but put the bomb down and that's some more money gained. But as Existence closes down OBJ, there's HS in support. That'll be a 10-4. Gamerlegion, a much better performance on this CT side of second map compared to first, considering it was Offset that took 9-6 on T side.
Yeah, compared to Dust, it feels like Gamerlegion just, are a little bit more comfortable here. As if the maps themselves were different or the picks themselves were different, as opposed to what they actually are. That certainly comes as a bit of a surprise. I had initially thought that perhaps it would be, Inferno or Mirage first map, and then we could see either Inferno or Dust second. But overall, this is pretty good. Gamerlegion, 10-4. I mean, the statistics do not lie. They themselves have about 60% win ratio in Inferno, so it's not that big of a surprise, or it's not really a surprise as a whole. But the way Dust went, that's the scary part. But Offset, they changed their strategy. They go fast, they go clear, and they're going to blitzcrank their way through short. They find the first player. They don't get the kill, but at least get themselves onto site. Although it's going to be Hampus, Knock, and Scream all replying left, right, and center. OBJ brings it back to a 2v2. Doesn't really change the outcome, which is still a retake with both players being below 50 HP. This is a problem. Offset, if they can't get the first kill and they're isolated in their duels, they could be off to a pretty poor ending after all.
This is going to be difficult, like you say, with the lack of HP, but it just takes down one. There's OBJ to finish. And Offset, they will be able to make it 10-5 at the end of the first half. I think that's a really solid round to close it out and giving them at least a fighting chance. Now they go onto their CT side. Like you say, we know how strong that Offset can be on their CT side. They proved that with closing out the game at the end of the first, or the beginning of the first series. They did get 11 rounds on T side, so not as strong as a performance as they would have liked on this map, but considering they were able to get 5 rounds on CT side Inferno before GTD Bulls were even able to respond, then they should be looking pretty okay. Providing pistol goes in their favor, I think they're going to be right back into the action. So, yeah, Offset switching over to that ET side. It's going to be interesting to see how they set themselves up. Interestingly enough as well, they won against Kick in the semi-final of MLP. A 16-11 that did see them getting 9 rounds on CT side as well. So there's definitely a bit of quality to be shown out of Offset on the CT side. And here's pistol round to see whether they can deliver that.
I certainly hope they can. They need to change it out, or they need to give us a bit of a better show than what we've been seeing up to this point. Right now, 10-5, as you said, the pistol is live. Offset, they've got themselves the kit on Stadudu. The rest, though, still pushing kind of aggressively through mid, and they're already down deep banana. Offset, they've got themselves a pretty nice understanding as to what's coming their way. Question is, will they be able to stop this? Hampus out of apps. It's BR with the first. It's Nox still that's going to be trading out. Not really. OBJ finds one, Stadudu the second, and HS, he's the only man that gets a kill at all. That's horrible right now. It's going to be Offset that will take the pistol, and all of a sudden, or at least should be taking the pistol, Existence back to a 1-on-3. Not impossible to win, but certainly could be very difficult to win.
Especially with bomb lockdown and Atlas control asserted by Offset now, it will see him trying to come in from an ulterior angle, but shouldn't be getting too much. Looks like Clean Feed has just started buffering. Not too sure if that's
yeah, mine the same.
Something for you as well. Okay, yeah. Get that sorted. Hopefully it doesn't affect anything too majorly. Back in at 42 seconds, and Distance makes his way up towards short, trying to advance. Maybe find some more info, but we shouldn't really this is like exactly the first map of the day that we saw when it was buffering on Inferno. It seems like I'm having flashbacks right now.
Legit, yeah, it's lagging like map 1 of Inferno of 11, or when we were here at 11 in the morning. So hopefully we'll get that solved ASAP, and it's just a quick power outage or something on the side of Moche. But yeah, pistol going to Offset, meaning that they have themselves a chance to go up to 7 rounds. If nothing else, we could potentially be seeing maybe better than just 7 rounds. And certainly, I would hope to see a bit of a better show than what we've been experiencing up to this point. As the first half was a bit disappointing. It is their map pick after all, and certainly you'd expect that being their map pick that they can at least close the half 8-7, 6-9, something of the like. But we'll wait and see. And Gamerlegion, I respect the fact they don't force up. I like it more than anything. They don't want to throw it all away that easily. A bit of a buffer zone, I guess.
It's nice to see, even in an eco round like this, that they're taking things fully seriously. Want to try and a team rush out of apartments, although seeing like that's the case now. Hampus will fall his way back, although I think he should be selling information fake and make a lot of noise to try and disrupt either side of Offset. And they're still going to keep 3 players toward the A site, but oh, look at the setup right now of Zlinks. He's tucked close in the corner, a beautiful 4K to find, and Hampus's footstep fakes, they won't mean anything to Offset as they lock out the round themselves. Enter 7. Offset getting to the realms of possibility where they're actually not too far behind now. If they can take away this first gun round of Gamerlegion, they're going to be right back in the run-ins, and like you say, on their map pick on CT side, their most comfortable side, where we can really see this Portuguese team show us what they are actually made of.
I mean, best way to put it is a comeback from 10-5 half into a potential 10-10 even is an amazing feat in itself against Gamerlegion. And if they were to win this, which is certainly going to be a possibility, then there's a whole nother realm of quality we're seeing already out of Offset. But Gamerlegion, they're going for the banana aggression. They're trying to take control fast and quickly, as well, I guess you could say as fast as possible, trying to make sure they don't get caught mid-transition or anything of the like. Well, just denies the one. So there's that. It's going to be, of course, none other than Existence falling. The IGL through the smoke. The pop flash doesn't really work out too well for Zlinks. He's kind of caught in the smoke itself, trying to push through. Oh my god! He's made his way to the line. How is he still alive? Exactly. How is he still being able to retain his life after all this maneuvering he's been doing? Zlinks gets the first. There's 2 men in pool. HS is ready though, and HS finds 2. Just needs to be careful. Back there 3-on-3 with a minute left. There's more than enough to be able to take this site and comfortably set yourself up for a nice after plan. And just though,
Wow.
The repeak is there, and so is the kill and the round itself.
That was a really random round considering how Zlinks was able to sort of tuck himself in the corner there. And it was all started by Just able to pick up that first kill, and I think so we didn't actually see him sitting in that smoke, but I don't think we would have sort of gained too much off of it. He was just running around hoping for the best at that point, but Just definitely the anchor of the round there, securing himself at that 3K. But as we do now see, hopefully, a tack pause out of Gamerlegion, wanting to discuss next couple of upcoming rounds. You can see Existence commanding orders through his side, wanting to get them back into the right mindset. They should be taking a pistol eco this time, maybe a little bit of Kevlar and some partial utility, but nothing that should be close to special for this T side, and that's going to give Offset such a prime opportunity to put themselves back into the runnings. A 10-9 going into your opponent's gun round where they're already starting to feel a little nervous is going to put them on the back foot. And my clean feed's fully died at this point.
Mine too.
It's been buffering for like 15 seconds.
Yeah, we're back. It's clear. No, we're not. Again, buffering. Yeah, we're in the same.
There we go.
Stuff right now.
133.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, me too. 30 seconds and counting.
Yeah.
Pistols and Kevlar for Gamerlegion. Obviously, they realize, you know what? Perhaps even though with the advantage that we do have, we should be a little bit more careful as to what we're doing and how we're doing it. Certainly, they are acutely aware of the fact that this could be their last map, and effectively their last map on Moche if they lose this, and they can't afford to let themselves go like that. This is a team that's been rising for the last few months, and if they aren't able to perform on a LAN like this, what LAN will they perform on? What tournament will they give you results on, right? I mean, this is an excellent testing ground for this team, how well it works on offline tournaments as a whole. And so far, Offset, they're giving them a lot of trouble. And Offset, I wish to see them more and more in the future. Oh, beautiful pop flash. Just finds one more. Zlinks saves his life, actually. No. OBJ was there, not Zlinks, my bad. And in the end, he still gets the kill. A bit of a lag.
Yeah. I'll give the admins a little ping. I think what they're trying to do is put the bit rate as high as possible, but obviously we're not at the venue, so we're going to be feeling the effects of server communication.
The changes.
We'll get things sorted. Yeah, we'll get it shipped over and it goes to the admins, but still can't discredit the fact that Offset, they're now a single round away from tying this scoreline, and considering it was 10-5 to begin with for Gamerlegion at the end of the first half, 4 rounds in a row successfully made by the CT side. OBJ wanting to aggress, and that's beautiful. Not peeking toward top mid ramp. gives that T side an indication that there's no one there, and as soon as he slinks past and gets that first kill, it's perfect. A 5v4 with only 25 seconds gone. That's going to be a great opener to the round for the CT side.
Indeed, it will be. I mean, Hampus, vital component to Gamerlegion. Even with banana control, they're going to have to rethink twice before they move anywhere further along these lines. There's the doo-doo with the AWP. Of course, it's just holding close range with the AUG, and every time a mistake will be made, it's going to be punished twice over. Patient maneuvering by Gamerlegion, though. They pull back through mid. By the looks of it, actually going A. I like the decision here. It will make their life a little bit easier. With an A push, they could get their way towards side without losing more than a single player. Molotov on towards long, and actually that Molotov was missed as far as I could tell, or was it a nade? I'm not sure at this point. But OBJ. Oh, where's the pop flash? Where's the pop flash? OBJ, that's a free kill. Gamerlegion, they don't abuse the fact, or at least they don't try to abuse the fact there's somewhat close range with the AWP. OBJ double scoped. Will be missed. Or will be missing. Scream finds himself one. Still a 4-on-3. It's an A play. HS will get the refrag. Back to a 3-on-3, and Pit PR isolated. An important duel coming out. Just saving his hide, though. And with the bomb plant down, there's a single player on mid.
As well.
Yeah, they know HS is inside while Nock is not on site. That means the defuse can come through without a problem. Nock, he's already looking to save. He's going to fall the hell away from there, and that's a tie offset. That's pretty sweet to see.
Getting risky now for Gamerlegion. 5 rounds in a row won by Offset on their CT side, and this is showing just how good the CT side of Inferno is looking to be for them. OBJ gifted gifted one opportunity by the lack of that pop flash with the second kill. First one was just a nice little swing around towards second mid, but even so, it's situations that Offset are creating that are already working in their favor. This time again, a rebuy in the hands of Gamerlegion, wanting to try and aggress down toward Banana. Nork burning in the molly pretty heavy. Luckily, had a smoke to be able to catch him, but it's the doo-doo. Already a first kill and make it a second. Oh. Those big green guns are paying off so well right now for Offset. And again, I said this in the first series with them. The doo-doo a solid secondary AWP, and again, he's proven it. Already a 5 versus 2 with minimal time lost. This is really looking scary for Gamerlegion. Knocked down to 8, and nothing that he can do about it. This should be Offset not only taking the lead, but Gamerlegion slammed into the floor economically.
Yeah, I mean, without a plant, GL has to go for a save here, or they have to go for an eco next. In either case, this is a problem. Time is on their side for the moment, and a 3-on-5 is doable, but against double ops, the doo-doo and OBJ both have proven today that they are absolutely on point when it comes down to opping. And I love this setup on A. They've got a player that is OBJ, of course, holding the line through library. I believe there's a player from Pit holding him long, and oh, this time will be punished by Knock. That's what Gamerlegion need. Mistakes like that will come to haunt Offset. They can't allow themselves to be caught one by one. That was a bit of a crucial error there by OBJ. PR, if he's able to stay alive, and if his teammate Slings also equally so, we could be seeing a victory yet for Offset, but this is all on the scopes, and right now Scream is going to find himself one. It's PR to refrag, and again, the delay of the plant could actually work out here. Knock has been spotted, or at least heard. Okay, the lag is gone, at least back to 1-on-2. Scream! Oh, he's unable to pull it off.
Celebration from OBJ there as well.
Yeah.
Nice little fist pump in the air.
Dude, we can see the happiness, or at least the excitement that...
Look at them, look at these guys.
Oh, dude, yeah, the venue going crazy.
Nice to see that in some events set age limits with, like, you know, like attendance. You can't have anyone under like 16, but we're seeing some really young fans in the audience. It's actually so good to see. But yeah, like you say, Offset 11-10, taking the lead now on the CT side. Nothing that Gamerlegion can bring to the table working at all. Yes, they've been in situations where it's looked a little close and they've been able to potentially have a chance to take rounds, but up to now, they've had very little to work with. Again, they've still been able to afford the buy. The plant and the round loss bonus going to be gifting them plenty of economy going into these next few rounds. But with the way that Offset have been playing, the pace that they're ensuing, and just the overall structure and style of their play, it's perfect. And again, it's OBJ. Gifted another free kill existence, the first man to fall. And already it's seeming like a distant memory of the round itself. It's PR to shut down Nork. He's been so good in mini pit, and he's controlling this A site so incredibly well as he peeks toward Truck. It's a simple trade. PR to close down Scream, and what a round. Gamerlegion, they're slipping out of this game massive. It's like an avalanche right now, and they're just tumbling down the mountain.
I think that's an understatement. This is more of a rock slide that is just completely devouring everything in ahead of it. And avalanche, you can perhaps survive if you have a little bit of luck, but with rock slide, it's just like it kills you in the first few seconds. It's like Game of Thrones season 8. Bricks killed the main actors. That is, that's how strong rocks are, or at least, rock formation. I mean, bricks are just fair enough. I'm kind of diluting the point here. The point is, this is looking amazing. Offset, the CT side of theirs, as I said, always, or from the get-go of this second map, it's been amazing in the past. They've performed very well on it, and you would imagine that going on to Inferno, the CT side is what GL should be fearing, and indeed, their fears are true if there's any at all, because it is Offset now 12-10, and a perfect position to work a victory of a potential 2-0 here in this quarterfinals, going up against Furia.
And that'd be such a test for Offset, but probably a valid, such a valuable set of experience. This time, Offset, they'll be facing off against a little bit of a partial semi-buy. We'll have the AK in the hands of Nork, HS himself, and the rest of his side down to pistols. A MAC-10 in the hands of Scream. They have spent a little bit of money to put a buy into this round. It's only minimalistic, though, and again, shouldn't be giving too much of a solid output by the D side, and especially if Offset can close out not only this round, but the next. It's all going to be flowing in their favor. This time just to be rotating over towards Arch, providing the support with the rest of his side toward this A site, but it's PR that's able to land the first and make it a second as well. It's so simple for this CT side, but luckily, Ampus and HS both able to return trades into a 3 versus 3. Bomb looking to be planted. I think they've now realized that PR should be in mini pit, but still a trade out and making it into a 1v2. Stadudu has to try and clutch it out with the AWP. I think he's been able to cross at least. Pistol now in hand. And as he takes out the first, it's Hampus. Keeping the round alive, and Gamerlegion, it's taken 7-8 rounds to do so, but they finally put one on the board for their T side.
That was a close call that almost turned out to be a complete, utter defeat for Gamerlegion. If PR had been allowed another frag, that probably would be spelling the end of them for this second map, and for this best of 3, and for the entirety of this tournament, effectively. So right now, that is a bit of a saving grace. A single round remaining, still in difference to Offset, but look at the smarts on Offset. They don't force it up. You would usually see teams like Wendigo, perhaps VP, forcing this kind of scenario. They have quite a little bit of bank to work on. They could have had a few rifles here and there, but they just go for pistols and Kevlar. OBJ abuses this fact perfectly. Gets himself a free kill, gets an AK. Now the rotation coming through towards B, but it's a B play instead still. It's just in triple. He reveals his position. Now he should be dying. There's a Molotov in existence, and it's going straight to triple, and there it is. That's the round gone all of a sudden, as an advantage had been given, or at least had been available to Offset, but they kind of wasted a little bit with immediately revealing their defenders on site. Unfortunately, that will spell the end of this round, so a tie is still coming, but a nice eco nonetheless coming out of Offset. Getting a kill, getting an AK to save up on. That's pretty nice to have. I have a bit of a lag spike. Not sure if you have the same. Yeah, my stream is again dead. So there's that, boys. Just so you know, guys, we're dealing with the same thing you're seeing on the screen. We can't see anything, or it's not loading up. Oh, we're back.
That's the round.
OBJ's dead. No AK. RIP. And lag again.
Seems like it's a little bit of a persistent issue right now. They're saying they have like 0 drop frames, but I think it's the communication between the stream and us externally, so.
Could be, yeah.
Hopefully, those issues aren't too persistent. It's like we will be seeing this time Gamerlegion, 12-12, able to put 2 rounds in a row consecutively on the board for that T side. Offset now back into their rebuy though, and this is the time for them to be able to really hit home on how good the T side can be for them. They face a little bit of hardship now with the reply out of Gamerlegion themselves, but this time bringing a double AWP on the board as well. Liking to see it. OBJ again. He's going to try and exploit the same position that he did inside of top mid this time. Stadudu wanting to set himself up for a peek. However, a boost to come, and still, there's jumped. The first catch. If he didn't jump, I think he might have survived there, but I think he offered himself up on a plate. And that will see a 5 versus 4 that just might not be able to contend with. Does have the support of OBJ, but the smoke to now block the position. And as he gets up on oranges, that's going to be the round itself shut down. Hampus, he'll be closing down PR, and that'll force a save. Gamerlegion, they take the lead yet again. 13-12, and the T side finally finding some composure.
Indeed, they are finding themselves a bit of freedom, a bit of, I guess you could say, fresh air to breathe in. This will be revitalizing their economy with all 5 players potentially surviving. It gives them a very nice bank to work on. And if Offset are unable to win within the next gun round that is coming after an eco of theirs right here, right now, then things could turn wildly and really pull it all in favor of Gamerlegion for this second map. And we might still have our third and final one, Overpass, coming afterwards. But a few exit frags here and there. It's gonna be okay. Slinks should be able to get a second perhaps. Yes, he does. OBJ will be caught. Slinks, did he survive? It's very important to know that.
I think he did. Yeah, he did.
And my stream is dead again.
Me too.
This kind of sucks. Hopefully we're not gonna miss too much of the game. Last time we missed like 30 seconds, didn't we? Almost. What an important... I guess we can discuss the fact that this is not too much of an important round for Offset. I mean, they can't really do much in it. They do have the M4 and Slinks. If they post it well, if they post them on B perhaps, or somewhere into A site, and then, you know, work the pistols around them, then we could see some victories, and maybe a victory of the round itself. But it's a highly unusual, or at least highly doubtful that's going to happen. Should be... Yeah, okay. We're back.
Yep, round already over.
25, right? Yeah, round's over as expected. Nice stack towards B. Like I said, they get a kill, but more than that's not going to happen. 14-12, and this is it. This is now... The round is going to decide everything. If Offset can win this one right here, right now, if they're able to transfer... If they're able to transfer their momentum a little bit into a few in a row, tie it up, we could see 2-0 results coming out, but otherwise, Overpass is now almost inevitable. Gamerlegion, this is the last round they have to take to pretty much confirm.
Exactly, yeah. As long as they can win this one, as long as they can shut down again a further buy round of Offset, essentially confirm the happening of a third and final map here on Overpass. So, going to take a lot out of Offset, be able to slow down Gamerlegion, who already are feeling the pace, feeling the support in their favor now that the game is starting to go for them. 2 players sat inside of Cubby there, so
Chubby, yeah.
Would have been a little dangerous if a Molotov would have fallen, but luckily something that isn't going to happen. AWP in the hands of OBJ again. It's always nice to see him on the sniper with him being pretty good, but stream dead again. I just realized refreshing doesn't even do anything either, so
nope,
it's not even worth like
alt-tabbing
to refresh the stream. We just have to wait for it to come back, but...
Unfortunately, boys, we can't do anything when it comes to the lags. We are not on site. We're not there to control it directly. We receive a clean feed, and when it lags out for the both of us. It is going to be 14-12, minute 24 on the clock, and by the looks of it, it was an A setup that Gamerlegion have prepared, and certainly is going to be an A setup. Hampus down to 19, a 4-on-3, and PR, he's waiting patiently on side. He's got support from PR, PR is there. Support from Stadudu on side. Oh, into C, he saw him. He has to have seen him. Where's the fake up? Where's the play? Now he hears the shot, but jumping. What is this jump again, PR? Stadudu jumped beforehand on Banana. Yeah. He died because of it. And it's back to a 3-on-3. 12 seconds. Time is of the essence.
Oh my god!
Oh, the lag again, but it's okay. At least we see the game here. And no time. Scream, he's going to have to save 14-12. Excuse me, 14-13. And it's Offset that are fighting for survival.
And being able to put that 13th round on the board now. See Stadudu just wanting to assure his teammates that they've got this distance and obviously wanting to command his side. They know they're a single round away from at least confirming overtime. Stadudu, though, just able to close out the 2 players on the back of the site, and that'll ensure that up to now, the Offset side still remaining as competitive as they were before Gamerlegion found the spree of rounds, and only being a single round away from tying the scoreline as well. We'll, of course, see Gamerlegion into a bye of their own. Although, I have the feeling that if they were to lose this round and it ties up at 14-14, they won't have too much economy in reserve to be able to again go for another reinvestment. So, heavily reliant upon Gamerlegion themselves being able to take this round as their own. Double AWP in the hands of that CT side. We know how valid of an asset that can be. Looks like Nork should have one of his own. Assume it would have been dropped, considering I think players like Hampus and Existence had plenty of money, so he'll be receiving the sniper to work with. But overall, second map being incredibly close. Eventually will be decided in these next couple of rounds, considering the facts of economy and everything in between. All down to whether Offset can tie things up and try and force the hand of Gamerlegion.
Indeed, I mean, they of course can attempt that. They of course could potentially should potentially be able to do it so, but it's going to be a difficult one. Double ops to Dudu and OBJ. And this is the battle that's going to decide the fate of this round. I feel like OBJ so aggressive through mid. If just a single peaks comes out from mid from Gamerlegion, that could have been a free kill too. Then banana control coming out. Stadudu going to be blinded out and mollied out. And HS needs to be careful. If he dies here, Stadudu's going to pull away. No chance of a refrag happening. Oh, this time HS! Again! Look at Stadudu. Look at the mistake. He realizes the mistake he's making. Why the hell are you shooting through a smoke? That is such a poor move. Offset, they're making basic errors, and Gamerlegion is punishing this. Specifically, HS is punishing this. And I like it. Offset, make stupid mistakes or play stupid games, win stupid prizes. And right now, 13 minute left, 2 players on A site. They have to make everything they can. They have to try and win this as best as they can. But oh, I love this change of Gamerlegion's going to CT. OBJ spots one, but he's in danger from his left flank. Existence gets a frag.
Oh.
Justice holding up, but the bomb! That's the bomb drop! No, what? Gamerlegion, you gotta be joking me. You can't play with my heart like this. Just finds another kill. It's back to 2v2. Just finds one more! And it's Scream one-on-one. Clutch round Scream. Can he pull it off? It's the game. It's everything on the line. Offset. 30 seconds.
God, look at
Can they close it out
round.
Here? Oh, no. Scream. Oh,
look at him. The celebration.
Just will get the round. He will get the victory thanks to Just. It is Offset to tie the score. Pull Gamerlegion into the worst possible position economically speaking. Gamerlegion are in deep trouble, and this is now potentially the series.
He had a FAMAS and found 3 kills with it. And then somehow was dropped down to 2 HP and still survives. That's actually incredible. And like you say, that could just be the series in itself, considering now that Gamerlegion not going to have extensive economy, not going to be able to put a buy fully on the board. They might be able to invest, but my God, it is looking so dangerous right now for the mixed team, or not even mixed team, for the mixed nationality side. They will be able to buy. They'll have the rifles in their favor, but Existence, he'll be down to a pistol himself. That's how weak they are right now. My gosh, they lose this round, they'll have nothing left for round 30.
Yeah. 0 economy. 0 setup. Nothing. As you said, a barren wasteland as Gamerlegion tread carefully amongst the shady rocks, but the pop flash into bananas. Lynx will be blinded counterly so, and he's gonna at least be traded out. It's a double. Scream and Existence, they make it work, but now it's all eyes on Stadudu. Once more, his positioning is vital, and the first man across is the bomb. Actually, no, the second man across is the bomb. Hampus will be caught by PR somehow. It's back to a 4-on-3. There's a chance we could be seeing a victory here yet for Gamerlegion. Although same goes for Offset as well. A close range Existence wins the duel, and that will be 15-14. Offset They play with fate and they get burned because of it. It is going to be map point going towards Gamerlegion. And Offset, they made the cruelest of mistakes trying to go aggro towards Banana.
Thing, especially when they offer themselves like that, to consider that Lynx could have stayed passive in that corner, could have waited for the approach of Gamerlegion. This time it's going to be, like you say, map point going in the favor of that T side. And the worst part about it right now is Stadudu, the rest of his side, will not have any sort of economy left to work with. PR and OBJ might be able to drop some form of MP9, UMP, maybe a FAMAS at most. But it's still going to be very, very hard for them going into round number 30. If they want to draw out overtime at this point, it's going to take an absolute miracle. They will have the AWP and the SG to work with, but overall, it's looking like Gamerlegion might have just found the means to be able to close out map number 2 and potentially to take us to overpass. But still, there is that one final round that could lead to plenty more to come. With the way that Offset have been playing in recent rounds, being able to get that couple in a row, definitely a chance that they do this. OBJ, for some reason, giving up the AWP to Stadudu as well, considering the mistakes that he's made down toward Banana. Probably a decision that I wouldn't have made myself.
Yeah.
But who knows, if he can show up where it's most needed, then it's definitely worth it. But so Gamerlegion able to exert early Banana control. They realize it is clear up to now. The rotation back toward the A site, and we'll see an exchange of players as Lynx makes his way back toward it. But 4 men prepared and ready for GL, and it looks like they're going to dedicate towards B for round number 30.
Yeah. It's a full-on commitment here. They will not be putting any stops in this one. And if there's not a third player rotating fast towards B, or at least a kill or two coming out from the B defenders, there's a very high chance this could be 16-14 coming on the platter pretty soon. Slink's first man to die. He drops immediately, just blinded out. He gets the kill, actually. In CT, 2 players have run through towards Ruins. Just finds a second.
God.
Just finds one more. Once more, Just gets himself 3 kills with the FAMAS. Scream will punish OBJ, but it's still a 2 on 3, and Just finds one more again. 4K, and Just is he pulling off overtime here. Existence, a 1 on 3 left, 38 seconds. He's got time to plant. He's got time to play this. But Just once more is just dominating, and Existence will be punishing the push, but PR. And it's going to be 30 rounds, 15-15, overtime coming out. Just simple. It is a 4K for this madman. And Offset, that is a rightfully deserved overtime. The way these players have been performing, they put everything on the line. It is out of this world the way they're playing.
Absolutely. The way that they've been able to not only off some crazy individual pieces, just as being so solid where it's required most, but to then have the team composure to battle, even when Gamerlegion got those 4 rounds in a row to take it from 12-10 to 14-12. They've kept battling. They've not given up since that point, and this will see them now into overtime. It comes down to this, and with the fact that Offset have been able to retrieve overtime, have been able to make it possible, you've almost got to think that they have the advantage now in their favor. So we will have a little bit of a tactical pause, allowing the teams to settle down going into these sets of overtimes. Our second one of the day, and our first saw virtus.pro sealing a 4-0. An Offset, they'll be looking for something of the same if they can pull this off on a way to end the series. But it's Gamerlegion will be facing off against the hardships, as they're on their T side with MR3 10k. DTs do get preferred if they only buy a single AWP, but if they can start stringing rounds together, that's where it gets a little risky. We saw that happen exactly with Big. They had like nothing in the 3rd round after VP 1-2, so there's definitely something of the same to be given by Offset.
Absolutely, and well, we're about to see overtime continue. And one thing I've realized, Kieran, is the fact the chairs are real. The chairs are magical. It is Just that saves 2 rounds, 2 crucial, most important rounds that Offset could ever have had in this map. They win it on top of just clutching it all. And it is going to be a single AWP, as you said. They're not overly buying too much, but they certainly invested quite a little bit. Usually you want to keep yourself up to $5,000, give or take, once you are in a MR3 10,000 scenario. Gamerlegion themselves, of course, not going to be broken a bit on that part, but it's still going to be pretty aggressive play through Banana. Existence looking for an early frag, perhaps trying to get a little bit of information. I love the fact Offset have pulled away from mid and from Banana itself. They made so many mistakes in the past through Banana itself that it would be foolish to try and, again, repeat the same mistakes, or at least the same scenario once more.
I'm glad they've adjusted to it as well. I think they kind of have noticed that Staduda was making some vital errors toward top Banana. You can't... Obviously, he's probably been made aware of those. You can't allow that to happen more than once or twice. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So he's going to be maybe told just to stick toward the A site, add some defense there, and Gamerlegion this time, they'll be pulling back toward the B bomb site. More of a simple setup out of Offset, and I've got to say, toward this B bomb site, I kind of prefer it. It's a very simplistic hold, but it's one that can really pay off. They have just toward Coffins, a place where he found a 3K previously, and he already spots a first head as well. Utility to be thrown down by the T side. It won't make too much of a difference, although HS
where's the support?
Able to open up with the first kill, and just like you said, there was no backup from him. OBJ at least to return Hampus. There's no rotate. Finally it comes, but still, Existence. He'll get one. Looking for the second, and there it is. Locking down the round themselves, although as just returns fire. Oh, he does get caught in the back. There it is. PR left in a 1v3. He'll pick up the AWP and run for the hills. That's Gamerlegion taking 16 going into that first round.
Why is Lynx engaging when Just is not shooting? Just is the first man to fight in that kind of position. He's the first guy they have to engage, and then Lynx peeks out of the first or second box. In either case, once Lynx is engaging, Just should have been helping him out immediately. There should be no doubt in that mind that Just has to help there. Unfortunately, that doesn't happen. And as you say, Gamerlegion, they find their first, and it's going to be 16-15 Offset. That is a pretty poor start. Their defense on B, I have to say, has been very poor. Unless it's come down to amazing personal performances out of one of the players, usually we would see Gamerlegion overtake B side. And so far, the B side defense has to be buffed up. There is something missing. Something is crucially going amiss, and it's not being fixed or recognized fast enough. I would dare say it's their setup, it's their defense, how they work as a duo on B sometimes for the defense itself is not good.
That's the thing, especially like you say with the weaknesses. OBJ, that's perfect.
Oh, Lord.
He tried that against GTZ Bulls but didn't get the chance to work it. Now it pays off, and Hampus, he'll be feeling the full force of that. That's a first kill already going in the favor of Offset. And again, Gamerlegion defaulting straight back toward that B bomb site. Yeah. Staduda this time, he's going to be playing on the edge of the smoke. I like this. The flashbang is good, but Staduda is better. Closing down HS. Nork is down to 48.
Pete, what?
Just spots the info. Yeah, he doesn't want to peek. Flashbang assists him, but he still comes out with the kill. Luckily, the flash was thrown. Or Existence surely would have had the chance to spray him down. But into a 5 versus 2, it seems like Offset, they've been able to keep them in the runnings and at least tie the scoreline going into the final round of the first half.
And again, we could see a glimpse of their over-aggressiveness, overconfidence, perhaps you could call it. They're feeling the adrenaline. They're feeling the hype. And the issue is they're letting themselves go too much. That peak was too much. That was too much of an exposure for Just. He is on side. He's the anchor. He's trying to hold, or he is the one that holds the side together. If he dies, usually the side is overtaken, and you can't allow that to happen. Offset, this should be their 16th, though. It's 3 guys that are holding B side, and Staduda goes to aggro. He finds one. Scream finds another one. Wait a second. Just now has to stay alive. This is the crucial moment for him. He's going to be checked by Scream. He's going to be caught by Scream. Oh my God. It's going to be Knock. What? Knock and Scream, they're making it play, and Offset, they again screw it up. They F it up. They fuck it up. They had a perfect setup. They had a 3-on-2. They were supposed to play Crossfire, yet they peek, they die, and it's back to a 1-on-1. PR blinds Knock. Oh, the Molotov is perfect. Now he can hold it. Just hold it, Fuse. Or not even that. There's no need to hold it even. Fair enough. It's going to work out like that. Oh my God, my heart is racing, Kieran. I do not like the way this is being played. Seriously, Offset, they're giving us the time of day right now, and oh Lord, it's too hot in this house to accept that.
Crazy plays out of Offset. That's, I mean, whilst they do get the round, it was balls to the wall from that CT side. They give them nearly a heart attack. His coach probably started trembling behind them right there as just saw Scream and Nork deal so much damage. Luckily, the round does go in the favor of Offset. I think that would have been the breaking point for the CT side.
Oh, yeah.
As we get into round number 33, the final round of the first half of overtime, we'll have the AWP again in the hands of OBJ. I like this. More strong player of AWP, in my opinion, when comparing OBJ and Stadudu. Look at this angle from Just, though, able to peek above the smoke. I like this. Never a time to play aggressive. It's like that. Offer yourself up, and Zlinks, he's going to be playing right underneath him as well. They might not expect this, and with the first man already dead, flashbang to come through, Molly to steal a little bit of team damage, but nothing too extensive. Gamerlegion, once again, though, as they focus so much toward the B bomb site, eventually it's going to be read by Offset. And I think they've started to really work out how this T side operate.
Yeah, this is starting to be a bit of an issue. Gamerlegion, I guess they didn't study any of the replays of Offset. Today they did this boost against the Bulls, and they were able to successfully do it twice or 3 times before they got punished. And even then, it wasn't really a punishment, just a denial. Overall, Offset, this is looking pretty darn good, and they've got 3 guys to defend B side. Gamerlegion again trying to hit B, and this time just once more aggro with the pop flash himself. He's coming out with a bit of a damage nade on, or a damage point out on Existence. It's gonna be Hampus in Existence. I was clearing the side. Stadudu gets 1, but it's PR and OBJ left. And this defense again proves to be worthless. Again, no crossfire, no support, and it's a worthless defense effectively when you do so much aggression, when you play so aggressively. You know that the opponent will kind of know where you're at because you're making so much noise. So you have to make a decision. How do you run it? How do you cross it and knock? Final double. 17-60. It is Gamerlegion at least picking up 2 rounds and a single round difference as a whole, but certainly was a very bad, I guess you could say, overall setup from not the first time. This has been repeatedly a problem for them.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Their B bomb site was so weakened, not only in the overtime, but just in the regulation play as well. That was something that Gamerlegion were always able to exploit.
Yeah.
At this point, it is going to start to really play on their minds now that if they'd have maybe just secured 1 more round, if they'd have got the 17th in their favor, they might be okay. But now on their T side, they're going to need 3 rounds in a row to be able to close out this series. Gamerlegion find 2 rounds. We go to a 3rd and final map here on Overpass. Would be probably the right way to end the series with how both of these teams have fought against each other, but maybe Offset will be able to pull something out of their sleeve. I wish I could pull the stream up right now, but it looks like we're having again a little bit of lag, but there we go.
Yeah,
quick
look at
retrieval.
Look at this. Gamerlegion, 4 people towards B. The first round of second half, first overtime. I think that in itself is a testament how much they value B control and how much they fear B retake. But it is going to be an AWP on Stadudu. Interestingly, not on OBJ, something we discussed about earlier, how OBJ let Stadudu take the off. And of course, Knock with his own AWP, something that you never should take away out of his hands is an AWP. Lag? Are you experiencing the same lag? Yeah, I'm having like 3 frames per second.
Yeah, it's like a presentation. It's like a PowerPoint right now.
Yeah, guys, we're back in primary school. We get at least picture this time, so there's that. You know, at least we have some picture. But it is going to be, by the looks of it, still kind of passive play out of Gamerlegion. Actually, out of Offset Esports, not really going anywhere just yet, not really committing to a site. I would expect a bit of a B play more than anything. Screaming HS triple.
Oh my god.
It works out. That's 18-16.
Yeah, putting themselves on map point without even having to do too much. All 5 players kept alive, and that's beautiful out of Gamerlegion themselves. And all they need is 1 more round to guarantee Overpass. And realistically, that's going to be a scary prospect for Offset, considering that Gamerlegion themselves find them as a pretty solid Overpass team.
Yeah.
It does come down to the point where they kind of have to really bring the game to Gamerlegion. Looks like we have oh my god. Well, we had a little bit of lag and it seems like the entire round is over. It's 4 versus 3 and OBJ low himself. Considering the fact that this is situation that Offset will not be able to contend with its existence. The takeout Stadudu, and with that marks the end of the map itself. We're going to a third and final map, and Overpass, it's on its way.